June 20, former Schalke, Frankfurt and Augsburg midfielder Halil Altintop has announced his retirement from football. The 38-time Turkish international was most recently on the books at second division side Kaiserslautern. Newly promoted Fortuna Düsseldorf have further strengthened their side with the loan signing of talented Eintracht Frankfurt youngster Aymen Barkok. The 20-year-old had previously extended his contract with the Eagles until 2021. According to Frankfurt, the one-year loan deal contains both the opportunity for Fortuna to make the move permanent and a buyback clause for Eintracht should they do so. Barkok made 27 Bundesliga appearances last season. June 19, Borussia Mönchengladbach have announced the signing of left-back Andreas Paulsen from Danish champions FC Midtjylland. The 18-year-old has signed a 5-year deal with the Foals after making the breakthrough into Midtjylland's first team in the campaign just passed. Andreas is a highly talented left-back with pace and an attacking approach who has already made the leap to a professional level in Denmark, said Gladbach's sporting director Max Eberl. Now it's up to him to take the next step in his career for us. We're delighted he's chosen to join Borussia. Breaking. Click here to read more. Arsenal complete €25 million Bernd Leno signing from Bayer Leverkusen. Bernd Leno spent 6 years at Leverkusen, playing 304 games since signing from Stuttgart back in 2012. It's a case of 2 in, 2 out for Eintracht Frankfurt. Having already confirmed the arrival of goalkeeper Frederik Rano, Brøndby back in April and sold their No. 1. Lucas Hradecki, Barrow for Leverkusen, and No. 2. Leon Bajwersberger kickers. The Eagles have brought back a familiar face in the form of Felix Wiedwald, who joins from Leeds United. Wiedwald made 13 appearances in all competitions for Eintracht during his first stint at the club 2013 to 2015, and is ready to battle for the No. 1 spot on his forming stomping ground. First things first, I need settle in Frankfurt, to show what I have to offer and hopefully play as often as possible, said the former Duisburg and Bremen keeper. VfL Wolfsburg have completed the signing of Austrian goalkeeper Paavo Pervin after he passed his medical on Tuesday. The 30-year-old, who joins from Lask Linz of the Austrian First Division, has agreed a 3-year deal with the club that will see him compete with Koen Casteels and Philip Menzel. Between the sticks, June 16 for the second time in as many days, Union Berlin have announced the signing of another top-tier player in SC Freiburg goalkeeper Rafael Gikiewicz. The Polish shot-stopper has spent the last 2 seasons playing backup to Alexander Schwillow, making just 3 appearances in all competitions for Christian Streich side last season, but has been handed the number 1 jersey by Die Isernen. June 15, Yunning Zhang has opted to return to West Bromwich Albion following a 1-year loan at SV Werder Bremen. Sporting director Frank Bowman described the Chinese international as a young player who is willing to learn. Zhang never made an appearance for the Werder first team, but was named on the bench for 2 of their final 3 games of the 2017-18 campaign. 2. Bundesliga outfit Union Berlin have completed the signing of Florian Hübner from Hannover 96. The 27-year-old, who made just 9 appearances in Germany's top tier last season, has put pen to paper on a 2-year deal in the capital. June 12, RB Leipzig have signed defender Marcelo Saracchi from Argentinian side River Plate on a reported €13.5 million $16 million transfer. The Uruguayan defender has signed a 5-year contract until June 2023. Saracchi, 20, made 16 appearances for River Plate in Argentina's top league and played in every one of their group stage games in the Copa Libertadores. He joins a young cast of Leipzig defenders that include Dayot Upamecano and Ibrahima Konate. Genki Haraguchi is returning to the Bundesliga, but with Hannover next season. The Japanese winger spent the second half of last season with Fortuna Düsseldorf on loan from Hertha Berlin. Haraguchi, 27, has signed a 3-year contract with Hannover to complete the reported €4 million $4.7 million transfer from Hertha. Nikolai Müller will not go down to the second division with Hamburg. The German midfielder, whose contract with Hamburg expires at the end of June, has signed a 2-year contract with Eintracht Frankfurt with an option for a third year. Müller, 30, spent most of last season injured after tearing his anterior cruciate ligament in his knee during a goal celebration on the first Bundesliga matchday. Werder Bremen have acquired Felix Beima from Swedish side Djurgårdens if on a reported €3 million $3.5 million transfer. Beima, 20, has made 11 appearances this season in Sweden's top league, which runs from April to October. He is expected to play on the opposite flank as fellow countryman Ludwig Augustinsson in Bremen's defense. June 11th, Vincenzo Grifo has returned to Hoffenheim after failing to make an impact at Borussia Mönchengladbach. The 25-year-old German-Italian forward signed for the Fohls after 2 impressive seasons with Freiburg, helping Christian Streich side win promotion in 2016 and remain in the Bundesliga in 2017. But he only made 9 starts for Gladbach last season and has returned to Hoffenheim, where he played between 2012 and 2014. "It feels a little bit like coming home," he said, who has made a total of 59 Bundesliga appearances in his career and has signed a 4-year deal with Julian Nagelsmann's side. June 7, Borussia Dortmund have confirmed the signing of midfielder Thomas Delaney from Werder Bremen for a fee believed to be around €20 million $23.6 million. The Dane joins on a 4-year deal and becomes Dortmund's third signing of the summer after Marius Wolf from Eintracht Frankfurt and Marvin Hitz. Juventus have signed Brazilian winger Douglas Costa from Bayern Munich on a permanent deal after a successful loan spell. Costa has agreed a 4-year contract with Juventus after they triggered the option to buy the player from Bayern for a fee of €40 million $47.2 million to be paid over 2 years. The 27-year-old scored 6 goals and provided 14 assists in 47 competitive appearances during his season-long loan with Juventus. Costa helped Juventus to the Serie A title in Coppa Italia. May 30th, Augsburg have signed a familiar face. Andre Hahn returns to the club where he made his name, hoping to find his form again. Hahn leaves Hamburg, a club and a region he grew up in, for an undisclosed fee. The 27-year-old attacker has signed a deal until 2022. May 28, Borussia Dortmund defender Sokratis Papastathopoulos looks set to sign for Arsenal for a fee believed to be around €18.3 million $21.3 million. The 29-year-old Greek international has been at Signal Iduna Park since 2013, but his current contract expires in 2019, and Dortmund are believed to be open to a deal for the player. Sokratis would become the third former Dortmund player to sign for Arsenal, whose recruitment is overseen by former Dortmund chief scout Sven Mislintat, following moves for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Henrik Mkhitaryan, who joined the North London club after a spell at Manchester United. But the Bundesliga club have moved quickly to snap up Marius Wolf from Cup winners Eintracht Frankfurt. The promising winger, 23, cost Dortmund just over €5 million. May 27, Hanover have completed their first major signing of the summer, bringing in former Cologne centre-back Kevin Wimmer on a season-long loan from Stoke City. The 8-time Austrian international made 73 appearances in all competitions for Cologne between 2015 and 2017, but failed to make the desired impact at Tottenham and Stoke, culminating in relegation from the Premier League in the 2017-18 campaign. As a result, the 25-year-old is eagerly anticipating making his return in Germany's top flight. Horst Held and Andre Breitenreiter gave me a very clear idea of what they envision for Hanover in the coming years and the role I can play, said the 25-year-old. They were very convincing. I immediately had a great feeling and really wanted to join the 96ers. That's why I'm delighted it's all worked out, not a transfer per se, but news from Munich, where it has been announced that assistant coach Peter Hermann will follow Bayern head coach Jupp Heynckes into retirement. I'm going home to retire, the 66-year-old told Kicker, admitting the decision was hard to make, in spite of toying with the idea for several years now. Hermann, who won the treble with Bayern in 2013, enjoyed spells with Schalke, Hamburg and Düsseldorf before reconnecting with Heineke's upon his return back in October 2017. May 25, Werder Bremen have completed the signing of former forward Martin Harnik from Hanover. The Austrian, who previously spent 3 seasons with the Green Whites at the start of his career, left in 2009, going on to feature in Germany's top 2 tiers for Fortuna Düsseldorf, Stuttgart and Hanover. "He's a player who can improve us in a sporting sense," said sporting director Frank Bowman. "His pace and experience should give us more possibilities in attack," said head coach Florian Kohfeldt. May 24, Louis Holtby will go down with Hamburg to the second division after signing a 1-year contract extension on Thursday, the club announced. Holtby, whose contract was set to expire at the end of June, scored 5 goals in Hamburg's last 7 games as the Dinos mounted a late-season surge to try to avoid relegation, ultimately to no avail. "For me it was clear quickly that I wanted to remain at HSV," Holtby said as part of the announcement. "The last few weeks were hard, but we have grown closer to our fans." Freiburg announced on Thursday that they have signed forward Luca Waldschmidt from recently relegated Hamburg. The 22-year-old forward scored a goal and recorded 2 assists in 21 appearances for Hamburg this past season. In the club's official statement, Freiburg sporting director Clemens Hartenbach said Waldschmidt fits well into Freiburg's tradition. Hoffenheim announced on Thursday that they have acquired Joshua Brenet from Dutch side PSV Eindhoven. The Dutch defender has signed a 4-year contract until June 2022. Brenet, 24, played in all but 2 of PSV's games last season, scoring once and recording 5 assists. He is the 3rd player to commit to Hoffenheim this month after the club signed Leonardo Bittencourt from Cologne and Ishak Belfodil from Standard Liège. Cologne has found their replacement for the recently departed Lucas Klünter. The relegated side announced on Thursday that they have acquired defender Benno Schmitz from Leipzig and that he has signed a 4-year contract until June 2022. Klünter, who came through Cologne's academy system, signed with Hertha Berlin earlier this month. Schmitz, 23, made just 2 appearances, 1 start for Leipzig this past season. May 23, Bayer Leverkusen announced on Wednesday that they have signed Eintracht Frankfurt goalkeeper Lukas Hradicki on a free transfer. The Finnish goalkeeper, whose contract with Frankfurt is set to expire in June, has signed a 5-year deal until June 2023. Hradicki, 28, spent 3 seasons in Frankfurt, replacing Kevin Trapp when the German international signed with French side Paris Saint-Germain in 2015. He started all 40 games for Frankfurt in the Bundesliga and the German Cup this season, helping his side win the latter on Saturday. Freiburg announced on Wednesday that they have signed Dominik Heinz from recently relegated Cologne, activating his €3 million $3.5 million buyout clause. Heinz, 24, has spent the last 3 seasons in Cologne after joining from Kaiserslautern before the 2015-16 season. Freiburg did not reveal the length of the contract Heinz signed. Hanover announced on Wednesday that they have acquired Japanese forward Takuma Asano on a 1-year loan agreement with Arsenal. Asano, 23, spent the last 2 seasons at Stuttgart on loan from the London-based club, helping the German club achieve promotion from the 2nd division. He made 18 first-team appearances last season for Stuttgart, scoring once. May 22, Leon Balogun has signed with Premier League side Brighton and Hove Albion, the club announced on Tuesday. Balogun, a Nigerian international who was born in Berlin, spent the past 3 seasons with Mainz. The 29-year-old defender's contract with Mainz is set to expire in June. He joins a Brighton side that will be entering its 2nd season in the Premier League after earning promotion in 2017. Wolfsburg announced on Tuesday that they have appointed Georg Schmadtke to be the club's new sporting director. The Wolves parted ways with Olaf Reba earlier this month after they qualified for the relegation playoff for a 2nd consecutive season. Schmadtke held a similar position at Cologne before being fired last October. Fortuna Düsseldorf announced on Tuesday that they have signed left-footed defender Diego Contento from French side Bordeaux. The former Bayern Munich defender signed a 2-year contract until June 2020. Contento's 28 spent the last 4 seasons in Bordeaux, but he made just 4 appearances at the club this past season. Forward Julian Schieber has signed a 3-year deal with Augsburg, the club announced on Tuesday. The German striker's contract with Hertha Berlin is set to expire at the end of June, bringing an end to a 4-year stint in the German capital. Schieber, 29, made just 4 appearances this season for Hertha, scoring 1 goal. May 19, Borussia Dortmund have confirmed the signing of FC Augsburg goalkeeper Marvin Hitz. The Swiss keeper, whose contract runs out this summer, joins on a free transfer, putting pen to paper on a 3-year deal lasting until 2021. After 5 very valuable years at Augsburg, both in a sporting and personal sense, I wanted to experience something different. I'm looking forward to the challenges facing me at a big club like BVB, especially the UEFA Champions League matches, with Roman Weidenfeller hanging up his boots following a sterling career earlier this month. Hitz has been brought in to compete in a Swiss showdown with international teammate Roman Bürki for the starting role in Dortmund. May 18, Borussia Mönchengladbach have signed Kenan Bendits from Premier League club Tottenham Hotspur. The 19-year-old Englishman has signed a contract that will keep him with the Foles until 2022. Kenan can play in several offensive positions and played for Tottenham in the Premier League 2 and the UEFA Youth League last season, Gladbach's sporting director, Max Eberl, said in a statement released by the club. We believe he is capable of making it in the Bundesliga and we are pleased that he chose Borussia. Bendits joins 2 fellow Englishmen at the club, Reece Oxford, who spent the last season there on loan from West Ham, and Mandela Egbo, who has mainly played for the reserves. Gladbach are reportedly looking to make the Oxford move permanent. All 3 have represented England at youth levels. May 17, Schalke announced on Thursday that they have acquired midfielder Suat Serter from Mainz. German under-21 international has signed a 4-year contract until 2022. Serter, 20, is much-needed depth in central midfield as Schalke are set to lose Max Meyer and Leon Goretzka on free transfers. May 16, Werder Bremen have announced the signing of Yuya Osako. The 27-year-old Japanese attacker moves from relegated Cologne for an undisclosed fee, believed to be in the region of €5 million. Osako had 6 goals and 3 assists in all competitions for Cologne last season. He is the second big name to leave the relegated side in 3 days after Leonardo Bittencourt joined Hoffenheim. May 15, Hoffenheim are capitalizing on their direct Champions League qualification and getting some serious business done. Just 24 hours after signing Leonardo Bittencourt from Cologne, they've now completed a move for Algerian international Ishaq Belfodil. The 26-year-old forward had been on loan at Werder Bremen from Standard Liège, and has signed a 4-year contract. Ishaq can up top behind the striker or on the flanks, so he fits our profile perfectly, said sporting director Alexander Rosen. He is a dangerous forward who is physically and technically strong and who also has great pace. Belfodil recorded 6 goals and an assist in 29 competitive appearances for Bremen this season, having scored 17 goals in 40 games for Liège. May 14, Stuttgart bolstered their defense on Monday, announcing the signings of Marc-Oliver Kempf, Pablo Maffeo and Borna Sosa. Maffeo, who arrives from English League champion Manchester City, signed a 5-year contract. As did Sosa, who currently plays for Croatian side Dinamo Zagreb. Kempf, whose contract with Freiburg expires in June, inked a 4-year deal. The German side, who could participate in the Europa League next season, also added midfielders David Kopas from Borussia Dortmund and Robert Massimo from Arminia Bielefeld, though Massimo will return to Bielefeld on loan. The club also extended the contracts of defender Emiliano Insua and backup goalkeeper Jens Grahl. Hoffenheim announced on Monday that they have signed Cologne winger Leonardo Bittencourt. The 24-year-old German has signed a 5-year contract with the club. Bittencourt registered 5 goals and 6 assists this past season for Cologne, who were relegated to the second division. Leonardo Bittencourt was a standout performer for Cologne when fit. May 13, after playing 7.5 seasons with Werder Bremen, midfielder Zlatko Junicevic will play for Red Bull Salzburg next season. The 30-year-old, whose deal with Bremen expires at the end of June, has signed a 3-year deal with the Austrian champions. Junicevic made 198 appearances for Bremen and scored 54 goals. May 11, the robbery era continues. Arjen Robben has signed a 1-year contract extension with Bayern Munich after Frank Ribery did the same 4 days ago. The Dutch winger is about to complete his 9th season with the Bavarians, but is currently recovering from a groin injury. Rafinha has also extended with the Bundesliga champions for another season. Read more. Arjen Robben and Rafinha both penned new Bayern Munich deals May 8. Bayer Leverkusen have acquired Mitchell Weiser from Hertha Berlin, activating a €12 million $14.4 million buyout clause in his contract. The 24-year-old defender won the Under-21 European Championship with Germany in 2017 and made 31 appearances for Hertha this past season. Weiser has signed a 5-year deal with Leverkusen.